Have you ever stared at an 80-year-old version of yourself in the mirror of your mind, creaky, foggy-brained, chained to pill bottles and regrets, and wondered, how the hell do I dodge that nightmare? Well, buckle up, because today we're cracking open elderly wisdom that's been hiding in plain sight, backed by decades of hardcore research showing that 7 simple, life-altering moves can transform your golden years from a drag to a damn triumph. We're counting down from 7 to 1, each one a shockingly effective shield against the misery of old age, with the science, the why it works breakdown, and your easy action plan. But here's why you can't blink and miss this. Stick around till the explosive number 1, and I'll reveal the one overlooked personality trait that outpowers diets and workouts, adding years to your life like nothing else. It's the game changer that'll have you rethinking everything you thought you knew about aging. Let's dive in. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 7. Keep moving, because sitting is the new smoking for your future self. Hold on to your sneakers, trailblazers of tomorrow, because in the intricate tapestry of longevity and well-being, those endless hours glued to desks, couches, or screens aren't merely harmless downtime or a minor drag on your daily output. They're insidious interlopers, stealthy saboteurs that health authorities around the globe have unflinchingly labeled the new smoking for their profound toll on human health. The real eye-opener? Regular physical activity transcends the realm of vanity pursuits like sculpting six-pack abs for summer selfies or pounding pavements in pursuit of personal bests at endurance races. It's an equalizer, a universal elixir accessible to all walks of life, profoundly reshaping destinies by carving down the threats from silent assassins such as cardiovascular disease, cerebrovascular accidents like strokes, insulin-resistant type 2 diabetes, and a spectrum of malignancies including hormone-sensitive breast cancer and colorectal varieties, with risk reduction soaring as high as 30% when woven into your routine, as illuminated by exhaustive, gold-standard investigations spearheaded by titans like the World Health Organization and the American Heart Association, which have meticulously shadowed millions of lives across continents and calendar spans to distill these irrefutable patterns. Yet, the true alchemy unfolds beyond mere survival statistics. Individuals who cultivate a steadfast alliance with motion aren't content with merely extending the length of their timelines. They alchemize those additional chapters into tapestries rich with vitality, unbridled enthusiasm, and unyielding purpose. Envision this, a cognitive edge honed to razor sharpness, empowering you to conquer intricate puzzles like cryptic crosswords or dive headfirst into mastering a fresh dialect, be it Mandarin's melodic tones or Italian's lyrical flair, even as the calendar flips to your 8th decade. Factor in a steeply diminished vulnerability to the shadows of depression, ensuring your emotional landscape remains a sunlit meadow rather than a stormy sea, and a holistic elevation in life's texture that reimagines the so-called golden years, not as a dimming ember of quiet resignation, but as a radiant bonfire of glorious adventures, brimming with discovery, connection, and unapologetic exuberance. Now, let's dissect the enchanting sorcery propelling this phenomenon, layer by physiological layer. The instant you slip into those well-worn kicks and propel yourself forward, be it a gentle stride or a spirited jog, your physiology erupts in a euphoric cascade of endorphins, those molecular messengers of mirth that dissolve the knots of accumulated tension like morning mist under sunbeams, while doubling as bespoke antidepressants to fortify your psyche against the encroaching fog of melancholy. Your cardiovascular core, that tireless metronome at the hub of it all? It metamorphoses into a fortified dynamo, akin to a precision-engineered motor receiving a turbocharged upgrade, contracting with amplified vigor to circulate a deluge of oxygen-saturated plasma to every distant outpost, from your fingertips crafting art to your toes tracing dance steps. Ascend to the cerebral command center, and the narrative elevates further. Augmented perfusion through neural highways rinses away the detritus of daily distractions, those intangible veils of mental haze, thereby amplifying attentional acuity, igniting sparks of ingenuity for solving thorny riddles or birthing bold ideas, and summoning that coveted flow state. The seamless immersion where hours dissolve into effortless mastery, a hallmark of peak human potential. Propel this ritual forward across seasons and cycles of dedication, and the narrative shifts from preservation to profound regeneration. Sinews and fibers knit denser and more resilient, bestowing the prowess to effortlessly elevate little ones skyward or tote market hauls homeward. Skeletal frameworks mineralize with renewed density, evading the brittle betrayal of osteoporosis that could otherwise sideline spontaneity. and lithe suppleness blooms, granting the grace to pivot mid-conversation. Contort into yoga poses under starlit skies, or embark on impromptu jaunts without the creak of protest. At its poetic pinnacle, the looming phantom of old age frailty, that archetype of tentative steps and whispered regrets, transmutes into the triumphant emblem of agile adventure, a life where rugged trail treks through whispering forests, euphoric twirls across polished floors to timeless melodies, and serendipitous detours into uncharted locales aren't exceptions, but the exhilarating everyday. Translating this blueprint from abstract inspiration to lived reality demands far less Herculean effort than the myths might suggest. No exorbitant gym contracts, no sadistic boot camps under fluorescent glare, just intentional sparks ignited in the forge of your choosing. The venerable benchmark, enshrined in global health edicts? Strive for a minimum of 150 minutes, or a leisurely 2.5 hours, spread across the week's 7 sunrises, of moderate exertion that elevates your pulse without overwhelming it, fragmented into digestible morsels that dovetail seamlessly with your rhythm of days. Visualize the launch. Embark on invigorating 10-minute perambulations encircling your neighborhood, where the cadence of footfalls harmonizes with the narrative arcs of your cherished audiobook or the banter of a thought-provoking podcast, turning transit into transcendence. Amp the ambience by cueing a playlist of pulse-quickening anthems for an impromptu living room boogie session, surrendering to the groove of era-spanning hits. From the funky bass lines of 70s disco divas to the raw beats of contemporary rap renegades, and amplify the alchemy by roping in housemates or kin for a symphony of shared chuckles and synchronized sways that doubles as communal bonding. Alternatively, awaken your latent archaeologist by reframing yard work as a mythic quest, unearthing soil for basil and lavender beds, sowing seeds like buried jewels, and sculpting unruly branches into verdant sculptures not only torches calories with purposeful fire but also nurtures the spirit through the tactile poetry of earth-kissed hands, the subtle symphony of buzzing pollinators, and the delayed gratification of blooms unfurling in defiant color. The elegance lies in its inherent adaptability. Tailor the tempo to today's temperament, whether a languid lakeside amble or a fervent game of backyard frisbee. Layer in progression like chapters in a novel, and soon those accrued epics won't merely accumulate in quantity. They'll radiate with an effervescent luster of vigor, mirth, and mastery. Your tomorrow's incarnation? Poised in eternal gratitude, extending a spectral palm in jubilant acclaim for the moment you chose momentum over stasis. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 6. Follow a Mediterranean diet, your fork's secret weapon against age's sneak attacks. Buckle up, foodies, because swapping out those drive-through temptations and shelf-stable snacks for the sun-kissed bounty of a Mediterranean-style eating pattern isn't just a trendy pivot. It's a frontline assault on the invisible assaults of aging. Picture this. Ditching the processed pitfalls could dramatically reduce your odds of metabolic syndrome, that insidious quartet of obesity, elevated blood sugar, hypertension, and wonky cholesterol levels that paves the expressway to heart attacks, strokes, and diabetes, by up to 50%, as evidenced by landmark research like the Paradigm trial, which followed over 7,000 participants and clocked these life-extending perks in real time. At its core, this dietary dynamo operates like a well-oiled defense system for your body's longevity engine. The star players. Those golden rivers of extra virgin olive oil, brimming with monounsaturated fats and polyphenol that act like soothing bombs, dialing down chronic inflammation. The silent fire that stiffens arteries, sparks joint pain, and accelerates cellular wear and tear over the years. Then come the vibrant fruits and omega-3 rich fish, hello, salmon and sardines, delivering a payload of antioxidants such as vitamin C, flavonoids, and astaxanthin that neutralize free radicals, those pesky molecules that rust your cells from the inside out, much like oxidation tarnishes metal left in the rain. Don't sleep on the whole grains, quinoa, barley, and oats, that form a steady foundation, releasing energy in slow, even waves to stabilize blood sugar levels, preventing those energy nosedives and sugar spikes that leave you foggy-headed and cranky. Layer in nuts for a crunch of healthy fats, legumes for plant-powered protein, and herbs like rosemary and oregano for flavor bombs that double as anti-inflammatory allies, and you've got a plate that's not just nourishing your body but fortifying it against the ticking clock. Bringing this powerhouse to your table? It's less overhaul and more evolution. Start small, savor the shift, and let deliciousness be your guide. Envision rebuilding your meals around the classic Mediterranean plate. Dedicate half your space to a rainbow riot of vegetables. Think juicy tomatoes bursting with lycopene, crisp greens like spinach and arugula for folate and fiber, and seasonal stars such as eggplant or zucchini grilled to perfection. Carve out a fist-sized portion for whole grains, whether it's a fluffy bed of farro salad or a slice of whole grain pita stuffed with hummus. Aim for lean proteins twice weekly, like herb-crusted fish baked with lemon and garlic, or chickpeas simmered into a hearty stew. And that olive oil. Make it the MVP. Drizzle it generously over everything from roasted veggies to simple green salads for that silky, heart-hugging finish. For an effortless entry point, revolutionize your mornings with a yogurt parfait. Layer creamy Greek yogurt, probiotic pack for gut health, with a handful of antioxidant superstars like blueberries, strawberries, and a sprinkle of walnuts. It's breakfast bliss that sets a tone of sustained vitality. Pro tip: experiment with meatless Mondays to ease in, or host a themed dinner where the whole crew dives into dolmas and tabbouleh. This isn't deprivation, it's delicious defense. Your taste buds and timeline will thank you as those sneak attacks fade into irrelevance. Number 5. Quit smoking. The ultimate time machine you can pull the trigger on today. Explosive revelation time. Lighting up isn't just a fleeting vice. It's a fast-forward button on your mortality, but here's the empowering flip. Extinguishing it now is like grabbing the wheel of a personal time machine, rewinding the damage and fast-tracking you toward a longer, fiercer life. The numbers don't lie. If you're in your 30s and stub out that last cigarette today, rigorous science projects you'll reclaim a full decade of prime living. Even if you're pushing 60, that's still a solid 3 bonus years of uncompromised vitality, straight from the playbook of the monumental British doctor's study, a 50-year epic that shadowed over 30,000 smokers and etched these truths in stone. Delve deeper into the dark arts of why it wreaks such havoc. Those innocent-looking sticks are biochemical wrecking balls, flooding your lungs with tar and toxins that scar delicate tissues, turbocharging risks for lung, throat, and bladder cancers by orders of magnitude, while simultaneously gunking up arteries with plaque buildup that rivals a gridlocked freeway at peak hour. Cue the heightened odds of heart attacks and strokes. But the quit? That's where alchemy happens. Within mere minutes, your blood pressure dips and oxygen levels rebound like a phoenix rising. By weeks in, lung function surges back online, coughing fades, and that relentless inflammation that fans the flames of disease begins its retreat. Zoom out to months and years, and your body's innate repair crews kick into overdrive. DNA strands that were frayed by carcinogens start mending, circulation revs up to nourish skin and organs with youthful glow, and even your sense of taste and smell sharpens, turning meals into symphonies again. It's not hyperbole. You're literally hacking back the years, emerging leaner, clearer, and more resilient, with risks plummeting toward non-smoker levels faster than you might imagine. Seizing this superpower starts with one bold exhale. Your roadmap to mastery is flexible, forgiving, and fiercely effective. Stock up on nicotine replacements like patches, gums, or lozenges to smooth the initial edge, or download a quit app that gamifies the grind with streaks, tips, and virtual cheers. For that first triumphant week, arm yourself with diversions. When the itch hits, lace up for a brisk stroll that swaps nicotine buzz for nature's high, or chug a glass of water laced with lemon to reset your palate. Rally your inner circle, loop in a trusted friend, or join an online community for those I've got your back check-ins that turn solo battles into shared victories. Celebrate the small wins lavishly. A puff-free morning? Treat yourself to a favorite coffee or a new book. One day morphs into a week, then a month, and suddenly, you're not just enduring. You're thriving, pilfering precious time from the jaws of aging itself. Remember, every dawn without a drag is a deposit in your longevity bank. Pull that trigger today, and watch the horizon stretch endlessly ahead. Number 4. Embrace napping. The lazy hack that supercharges your heart and brain. Whoa, pause the hustle. Because in a world that glorifies the grind, the humble nap emerges as an underrated rebel, a lazy indulgence that's actually a high-octane upgrade for your cardiovascular and cognitive engines. Groundbreaking data from the American Heart Association reveals that habitual nappers slash their risk of dying from heart disease by a stunning 37% compared to the perpetually wired non-nappers, drawing from cohort studies that monitored sleep patterns across thousands and linked those restorative siestas to tangible, ticker-saving outcomes. Far from slothful surrender, this is your body's whispered plea for recalibration. A micro-vacation that pays dividends in durability and delight. Let's geek out on the neuroscience and physiology fueling this nap nirvana. During those golden 20 to 30 minutes, your system hits the brakes on the relentless churn of cortisol, that stress hormone that gnaws at arterial walls, spikes blood pressure, and sets the stage for plaque buildup and irregular rhythms. Instead, it flips the script to parasympathetic paradise, where heart rate chills, blood vessels dilate for smoother flow, and overall inflammation takes a nosedive, shielding your pump from the daily barrage. Meanwhile, upstairs in the brain suite, naps orchestrate a masterful detox. The glymphatic system, your neural plumbing, flushes out beta-amyloid proteins and other metabolic gunk that accumulate during wakefulness, the very culprits implicated in foggy thinking and mood dips. The payoff? Laser-sharp memory consolidation, hello, acing that presentation or recalling grandkid stories with ease, elevated problem-solving prowess, and a sunnier disposition that buffers against the blues, all compounding over time to keep your mind as nimble at 70 as it was at 30. Mastering the art of the power nap is deceptively straightforward. Treat it like a precision ritual to maximize the magic without the groggy aftermath. Time it for mid-afternoon sweet spot, around 1 to 3 p.m. when your circadian dip naturally beckons, and cap it at 20 to 30 minutes to dodge deep sleep inertia. Think a quick timer set to a soothing chime like ocean waves or birdsong. Curate your cocoon. Dim the lights to signal rest mode. Crank the AC for that crisp 65-degree embrace, and maybe slip on an eye mask or soft playlist of ambient rain. If your mind's a racetrack, prime the pump with 5 minutes of box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts. Hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, to usher in tranquility. Post-nap, ease back with a stretch or splash of cold water to rocket launch alertness. For the chronically caffeinated or schedule jugglers, experiment with a coffee nap. Gulp an espresso right before nodding off. The buzz kicks in just as you rise, for double-barreled refreshment. Who could have guessed that this siesta strategy, rooted in cultures from Spain's afternoon repose to NASA's astronaut protocols, was your secret superpower? Integrate it twice weekly, and feel your heart hum stronger, your brain sparkle brighter. Proof that sometimes, the smartest move is to simply surrender to the snooze. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 3. Protect your DNA. The invisible shield every elder wishes they built sooner. Imagine an unseen siege on the very foundation of who you are, your genetic essence under constant, subtle bombardment. But armed with nothing more than intentional daily choices, you can rally a hidden defender within your cells to push back with astonishing force. This is the realm of telomerase activation, that remarkable enzyme which serves as a vigilant guardian for the telomeres, those delicate, protective sheaths capping the ends of your chromosomes like the aglets on a pair of well-worn shoelaces. Scientific investigations, including longitudinal research from institutions such as the American Journal of Epidemiology, reveal that these unassuming lifestyle adjustments can dramatically curb the rate of cellular senescence by 20 to 30%, creating a robust barrier against the onset of age-accelerated ailments ranging from cardiovascular strain and metabolic disorders to neurodegenerative threats and oncological risks. It's akin to installing an advanced, invisible force field around your biological core, one that defies the relentless march of time and ensures your vitality endures far beyond what fate might otherwise decree. To truly appreciate the elegance of this process, let's unpack the mechanics in a way that's accessible yet profound. At the heart of every cell lies your DNA, a vast, spiraling library of instructions coiled into 46 chromosomes, each ending in these telomere sequences, repetitive DNA protein complexes that prevent chromosomal fraying during replication. In an ideal world, they shorten gradually with each cell division, a built-in mechanism to limit unchecked growth and maintain genomic stability. However, modern life's aggressors, be it the oxidative fury unleashed by environmental toxins like vehicle exhaust or secondhand smoke, the inflammatory havoc from sedentary marathons behind desks, or the nutritional voids carved by diets heavy in refined sugars and trans fats, exacerbate this erosion, accelerating telomere attrition and tipping the scales toward premature cellular exhaustion. This rust manifests as diminished regenerative capacity, heightened susceptibility to infections, and the insidious creep of chronic conditions that sap your spark. But fear not, telomerase, often dormant in adults, can be awakened like a sleeping giant through targeted interventions. This reverse transcriptase enzyme adds nucleotide repeats to telomere ends, effectively elongating them and restoring a buffer that keeps cells in a state of poised renewal. Twin studies in clinical trials, such as those published in The Lancet, underscore how elevated telomerase levels correlate not just with extended lifespan but with enhanced tissue repair, sharper cognitive edges, and a resilient immune profile that laughs in the face of seasonal bugs. Activating the shield isn't about overhauling your life overnight. It's about layering in synergistic, joyful practices that compound like interest in a high-yield account. Begin at the breakfast table by incorporating a rainbow of antioxidant-laden berries. Plump, jewel-toned blueberries for their anthocyanins that scavenge free radicals with surgical precision, tangy raspberries for ellagic acid's anti-inflammatory punch, or earthy goji berries for their zeaxanthin boost to eye health, targeting at least a cup daily. Perhaps whirled into a nutrient-dense acai bowl with a dollop of Greek yogurt or frozen into pops for a guilt-free treat on sweltering afternoons. Seamlessly integrate this with a foundational movement ritual from our prior discussions. Those 30-minute invigorating strolls through leaf-dappled parks or gentle vinyas flows that synchronize breath with bend, proven to spike telomerase expression by enhancing mitochondrial function and curbing cortisol's corrosive grip. And to fortify the fortress from within, dedicate a sacred sliver of your day, starting with a mere 5 minutes, scaling to 10 or 15 as it becomes second nature, to mindfulness practices like guided imagery or progressive muscle relaxation, envisioning stress as dark clouds dissolving into azure skies. This not only quells the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis hyperactivity but fosters a parasympathetic calm that directly nourishes telomere integrity. For momentum that lasts, arm yourself with a dedicated journal, perhaps a leather-bound beauty with prompts like, "What nourished my cells today?" or "How did that breath break feel in my body?" To chronicle not just adherence but the subtle symphony of shifts. The newfound spring in your step, the midday lull that vanishes, the glow in the mirror that defies the calendar. Remember, your DNA isn't a static relic. It's a dynamic partner in your odyssey, encoding resilience and renewal. By honoring it with these acts of stewardship, you're not merely extending days. You're enriching them with the unyielding vigor of youth rediscovered. Step up, shield in hand, and let your legacy unfold in vibrant, unfrayed chapters. Number 2. Make friends. Because loneliness is a silent killer, but bonds are your lifeline. In an era where digital pings masquerade as proximity, here's a revelation that cuts through the static. The most potent elixir for a protracted, purposeful existence isn't bottled in a lab or peddled in infomercials. It's cultivated in the fertile soil of genuine human interplay. Echoing across a vast archipelago of empirical evidence, from the exhaustive syntheses in PLOS medicine aggregating over 300,000 participants to the venerable Harvard study of adult development, which has illuminated paths to well-being since 1938, strong, woven social networks emerge as a superior sentinel, diminishing the specter of untimely demise by as much as 50%. This eclipses the gains from pharmacological interventions for hypertension or even the vaunted virtues of tobacco cessation in some metrics, positioning companionship not as a luxury but as an indispensable architecture for thriving amid life's tempests. Delving into the intricate tapestry of this safeguard reveals a multifaceted marvel, blending neurochemical symphonies with behavioral scaffolding. At its core, authentic friendships function as masterful dampeners for the seismic ripples of adversity, those towering waves of acute anxiety from career pivots, relational ruptures, or global upheavals that might otherwise cascade into systemic dysregulation. By sharing burdens, confidants redistribute emotional loads, mitigating the allostatic burden that erodes vascular linings and suppresses thymic output, thereby bolstering innate and adaptive immunity to repel pathogens with renewed ferocity. Beyond defense, these alliances ignite a virtuous cycle of empowerment. A workout accountability duo turns solo slogs into spirited challenges, a dinner companion nudges toward verdant choices over vending machine vices, and collective wisdom prompts preventive whispers like, "Hey, that mole looks off, get it checked." The cerebral dividends are equally intoxicating. Episodes of unbridled mirth, those spontaneous guffaws at a shared faux pas or a perfectly timed pun, or tender exchanges laced with vulnerability unleash torrents of endorphins, the cuddle hormone, oxytocin for trust and attachment, and serotonin for equilibrated mood, collectively sculpting hippocampal volumes against atrophic threats and insulating against the existential chill of anhedonia. Functional MRI insights from social neuroscience labs illustrate how recurrent positive interactions thicken prefrontal insular circuits, enhancing executive control and emotional granularity, while meta-reviews in JAMA Psychiatry link relational richness to a 30 to 40% plunge in dementia incidence, transforming potential twilight haze into crystalline recall. Crafting this lifeline demands no Herculean feats, merely a blueprint of consistency laced with curiosity and courage. Launch with a rhythmic cadence of outreach. Pencil in a weekly anchor, such as savoring a frothy cappuccino in a sunlit cafe with a college comrade, trading tales of triumphs and tumbles, or logging into a virtual hearth for a nostalgia-fueled game night that bridges miles. 4 fresh forges, immerse in affinity-fueled gatherings, a literary salon dissecting dystopias over herbal teas, where plot twists spark soul-bearing detours, or a habitat restoration crew wielding trowels in earthy camaraderie, where the rhythm of planting mirrors rooting anew. Philanthropy offers another portal. committing bi-weekly hours to literacy programs or soup kitchens, where narratives of struggle and sparkle interlace, forging empathy's unbreakable alloy. Heed this North Star. Depth eclipses breadth every time. One languid afternoon dissecting life's labyrinths with a kindred spirit outshines a flurry of fleeting feeds or obligatory nods at networking schmoozes. It's about curating a constellation of souls who mirror your multitudes. The cheerleaders for your bold leaps, the anchors in your adrift hours, the mirrors reflecting your finest facets. Tend this garden with the tenderness it merits. A handwritten note of appreciation, an impromptu thinking of you call, or a playlist curated for their commute. In the ledger of longevity, it's these interlaced threads, the harmonious hum of voices in chorus, the warmth of palms clasped in quiet solidarity, that propel you toward horizons brimming with shared sunrises, proving that no fortress stands as impregnably as one built hand in hand. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 1. Be conscientious. The personality power-up that outlives diets and workouts. Prepare for a cinematic crescendo, the kind that demands a pause and a deep inhale. Set aside the kale conquests and burpee battles momentarily, for the crowning stratagem in the arsenal of endurance transcends the tangible toil of sweat and sustenance. It's etched indelibly in the architecture of your psyche. Enter the thunderclap from psychology's magnum opus, the Harvard Grant Study, a longitudinal odyssey spanning over 8 decades and chronicling the arcs of more than 700 souls from infancy's first cries to elder wisdom's final sighs. The Proclamation? Exemplars of conscientiousness, those steadfast architects of their days, marked by meticulous forethought, unwavering integrity towards self and kin, and a quiet ferocity for fulfillment. Forge ahead with bonus years in their quiver, their profiles etched with markedly muted incidences of scourges from myocardial infarcts to skeletal frailties, and even the stealthy incursions of autoimmune flares. Astonishing, isn't it? Amid a zeitgeist fixated on caloric chronicles and macro meticulously measured, this revelation pivots the paradigm to the intangible helm of cognition, affirming that the lens through which you navigate existence wields a mightier scepter than any ephemeral regimen. To fathom the profundity of this pillar, consider its essence as a preemptive paradigm, a cerebral circuitry honed in the crucible of temperament yet malleable through mindful metallurgy. Conscientiousness, one of the Big Five stalwarts, isn't a monolithic mantle but a constellation of competencies. The impulse control that vetoes the siren call of midnight munchies or rash revs behind the wheel, the industriousness that transmutes aspirations into etched calendars, and the deliberate decorum that honors relational reciprocity as sacred covenant. This triad tunes the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the executive suite orchestrating inhibition and intentionality, into a vigilant virtuoso, preempting perils through probabilistic prudence. Envisioning the dominoes of a deferred doctor's visit tumbling toward triage, or the erosive echo of unchecked grudges gnawing at nocturnal repose. Over the longue durée, these micro-decisions metastasize into macro-monuments, a citadel impervious to impulsivity's incursions, where routines like ritualized repasts or reflective respites become bulwarks against biochemical betrayals such as erratic glycemia or hypothalamic dysregulation. Epidemiological excavations, from the British cohort study to Finnish twin registries, quantify the quotient. High conscientious souls boast 20 to 30% reductions in all-cause mortality, with telomere tenacity and inflammatory quiescence as silent sentinels, underscoring how this trait isn't happenstance but a harvest of habitual harmony that outstrips sporadic salubrity spikes. Yet the true enchantment lies in its accessibility. This isn't an inherited edict but a skill set sculpted with the chisel of choice, amenable to apprenticeship like any craft from sonetry to sculpture. Initiate with an introspective inventory. At dawn's first light or dusk's gentle close, dissect your diurnal drift through a lens of lucidity. Interrogate alignments like, does this scroll serve my serenity? And consecrate a singular, surmountable sentinel, such as sanctuary by 10 p.m., herbal infusion, no lumens lingering, evolving it iteratively to embrace without encumbrance. Anchor the arc with vespertine vignettes, a trio of notations in a velvet-veiled volume, chronicling conquests from the mundane, mastered that meeting pivot, to the majestic, mended a myth with mercy, reframing the psyche from fault finder to fortitude fan. For amplification, embark on literary liaisons. Devour Atomic Habits by James Clear for its quantum leaps in Q-cluster alchemy, or Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl to mine resilience from ruins rubble, or inaugurate a gratitude grimoire, inscribing abundances from azure arcs overhead to the aroma of earth after rain, cultivating a conscientious current that courses through veins like liquid light. Enlist allies. a confidant for accountability check-ins, or apps that gamify goals with gentle nudges. This is the sorcery of self-sculpting. Subterranean seeds sown in subtlety germinating into a verdant vista of volition. Hone this helm now, and it helms not just longevity's latitude but latitude's lushness. Epics embroidered with equanimity, endeavors etched in excellence, and an aura that alchemizes adversity into ascent. Mind. Irrevocably. Transfigured. Phew, what a ride. From that heart-pounding hook imagining your vibrant 80s self, through the countdown of game-changing gems like ditching the smokes, napping like a pro, and unlocking the personality powerhouse that trumps it all. We've unpacked elderly wisdom that's not just talk, but science-backed rocket fuel for dodging old age misery. So, tell me, friends, what have you learned so far that's got your wheels turning? Drop a comment below on one thing from this video you'll actually bring into practice in your life. Maybe committing to those brisk walks, stacking your plate with Mediterranean magic, or auditing your day for that conscientious boost. Your story could spark someone else's transformation. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more no BS hacks to level up your years. Your future self, already toasting you. Catch you in the next one. Stay fierce, stay thriving.